1959. Beneath the belly of a strategic Tu-95 hangs a missile the size of a bus. It weighs more than 11 tons. On board is a megaton-class nuclear warhead. This is the Kh-20, the first Soviet long-range air-launched cruise missile. This is where it all began. The letter K, a symbol of experimentation. Later, it became the signature index of Soviet and Russian air-to-surface missiles. Kh-22, Kh-55, Kh-101. Each marks a stage in the evolution of Soviet weapons engineering. Today, we'll explore the development of the legendary Kh missile family. The missile family can be divided into four main types: strategic cruise missiles, anti-ship missiles, anti-radiation missiles, tactical missiles. Strategic missiles of the Kh series are long-range air-launched strike weapons. They were developed to hit critical targets at extended distances, typically carrying nuclear warheads. It all started with the Kh-20. A massive, bulky designer, essentially an airborne version of a ballistic missile. Carried by heavy bombers like the Tu-95K. Its main task, delivering a strike on strategic targets in the event of a major war. But due to its size, limited accuracy, and vulnerability of the carrier, the Kh-20 didn't stay in service long. In the 1970s, it was replaced by the Kh-55 the first truly mass-produced strategic cruise missile. It resembled a small pilotless aircraft, folding wings, a turbofan engine, subsonic speed, and low-altitude flight. This allowed it to bypass enemy air defenses. Range, over 2,500 kilometers. Payload, a thermonuclear warhead. The Kh-55 became the basis for many later models. Later came the Kh-555. Its main difference, no nuclear payload. Instead, high-explosive or penetrating warheads. Navigation was upgraded with satellite and inertial systems. These missiles were used in conflicts throughout the 2010s. The modern generation includes the Kh-101 and Kh-102. The Kh-101 is conventional, the Kh-102 nuclear. Both feature extended range, up to 5,000 kilometers, enhanced accuracy, stealth technology, and radar-absorbing materials. These are true deep strike weapons. Even under intense electronic warfare, they can hit targets with precision. They're launched from the Tu-95 MSM, Tu-160, and the new Tu-160M. The core concept of all these missiles, strike from afar, outside air defense zones, targeting key assets like command centers, bases, and infrastructure. Anti-ship missiles of the Kh series were designed to target surface naval forces from individual ships to carrier strike groups. Their purpose is to penetrate naval defenses and deliver strikes from beyond retaliatory range. One of the most notable is the Kh-22. Developed in the 1960s for strategic bombers like the Tu-22K. A heavy liquid-fueled missile, launched from high altitudes and at high speeds. Weight, nearly 6 tons. Range, up to 600 kilometers in the Kh-22M variant. Speed, over 4,000 kilometers per hour. Guidance, radar or inertial. Warheads included both conventional and nuclear types. It was intended to target large NATO ship formations, including carriers. However, it's complex to operate and vulnerable to modern new systems. In the 2010s, the Kh-32 was introduced as a deep upgrade of the Kh-22. It features a new engine, improved radar seeker, and extended range over 900 kilometers. It can climb to 40 kilometers altitude before diving onto the target from beyond the radar horizon, making interception extremely difficult. Next in line is the Kh-35, a light subsonic cruise missile akin to the American Harpoon. Designed for frontline aircraft, helicopters, and coastal systems. Range, from 130 to 260 kilometers, depending on version. Guidance: active radar homing. Flying at low altitudes makes it hard to detect. The modern KH-35U variant has an improved engine, seeker, and compatibility with Su-30SM, Su-34, MiG-29K, and other platforms. Also important is the KH-31, a high-speed anti-ship missile with a combined propulsion scheme, ramjet cruise engine and solid fuel booster. It reaches 3 to 3.5 Mach, making interception difficult. Range: up to 120 kilometers. Seeker: active radar. Carried by Su-30, Su-34, MiG-29K, and other fighters. It's primarily used against destroyers, frigates, and escort vessels. Thus, KH-series anti-ship missiles cover a broad spectrum, from standoff attacks on major targets to low-altitude stealth runs and high-speed air defense breaches. Varying sizes, speeds, and guidance methods allow adaptation to any combat theater. Anti-radiation missiles of the KH series are intended to destroy enemy radar installations and mainly air defense systems. The primary goal: blind the enemy before strikes by aircraft or cruise missiles. One of the first was the KH-28, introduced in the late 1960s. A large missile with a passive radar seeker tuned to fixed NATO radar frequencies. Launched from Su-17, Su-24, and MiG-27. Weight: around 700 kilograms. Range: up to 100 kilometers. However, the KH-28 could only target known frequencies, and in-flight retargeting was impossible. Effectiveness depended on precise intelligence. Later came the KH-58, developed in the 1980s and becoming the main said weapon against NATO. Range: up to 120 kilometers. Speed: up to 3,200 kilometers per hour. Its seeker covered a broader frequency range, and inertial guidance let it reach target areas even if radars shut off temporarily, greatly improving survivability and flexibility. The KH-58 was launched from platforms like the Su-24M. In parallel, the lighter KH-31P was developed. More compact than the KH-58, also for anti-radar missions. It features a solid booster to reach speeds near 3,000 kilometers per hour, making interception harder. Range: around 110 kilometers. Seeker: passive, with multi-mode tracking. The KH-31PD version offers improved lock-on and ECM resistance. Thus, KH-series anti-radiation missiles evolved from heavy, frequency-limited types like the KH-28 to versatile, high-speed systems like the KH-31 and KH-58. Their role is to shield the main strike wave by disabling enemy detection systems. Tactical missiles of the KH family are aviation strike weapons intended to destroy specific battlefield and rear area targets. Unlike strategic systems, they have shorter ranges and are used within a single theater of operations. Key traits: high accuracy, compatibility with multiple aircraft, and flexibility. The KH-23, or KH-66, was one of the USSR's first guided tactical missiles. Developed in the late 1960s based on the S-24 unguided rocket. Guided via radio commands from the aircraft. Launched from MiG-21, MiG-23, Su-17. Range: about 10 kilometers. Warhead: high explosive fragmentation. Though primitive by today's standards, the KH-23 marked a major leap, allowing accurate strikes on fortified or moving targets. The KH-25 became a whole family of lightweight tactical missiles. The idea: create a universal platform with modular seekers. Variants included laser, KH-25ML, TV, KH-25 mount, and radar homing, KH-25MP, versions. This allowed engagement of various targets from radars to tanks and bunkers. Range: 10 to 40 kilometers, depending on variant and launch altitude. Carriers: Su-17, Su-24, MiG-27, Su-25. The Kh-25ML was widely used in Afghanistan, Chechnya, Syria for striking buildings, fire positions, and bridges. The Kh-29 was a heavier, more powerful missile developed in the 1980s. Warhead, up to 320 kilograms, capable of piercing up to 1 meter of concrete. Guidance: laser, Kh-29L, or TV, Kh-29T. Range: up to 12 kilometers. Designed to destroy hardened targets or bunkers, hangars, runways. Used in both Chechen wars, Syria, and Ukraine. Launched from Su-25, Su-24, Su-30, Su-34. Its accuracy and power keep it relevant today. The Kh-38 represents a new generation. A modular platform with multiple guidance options: inertial plus GLONASS, laser, active radar, infrared. Weight: about 500 kilograms. Range: up to 40 kilometers. Key feature: compatibility with next-gen fighters like the Su-57. Designed for internal bay carriage. It's a modern counterpart to the AGM-65 Maverick or Brimstone with much greater versatility. Thus, tactical KH-series missiles evolved from basic radio-guided designs to advanced modular systems. They give Russian aviation flexible, powerful strike tools for a wide range of targets, from bridges and bunkers to mobile radars and armor. The KH missile family is the result of decades of engineering effort and technological evolution. From the earliest oversized prototypes to today's stealthy precision systems, each step reflects changing missions, threats, and technologies. If you're interested in the history of armaments, tech development, and real-world capabilities, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment. It helps support the project and bring you more detailed content. Thanks for watching.